Now, all right, I'll go ahead and call to order the Wednesday, June 25th Planning Commission meeting for Atherton Planning Commission. We'll start with a roll call, please.
Chair Lane,
Here.
Vice Chair Polito,
Here.
Chair, Commissioner Lugers,
Here.
Commissioner Levison,
Here.
and we're waiting for Commissioner Tonelli.
Yes, right, and when he arrives, we'll note that on the record. All right, the next item on the agenda is public comments, and these are for our items that are not on the agenda. Sometimes people come up and tell us about something that is going on in the community, or an update on a project that's pending, or just come up and talk about a new item. So with that, I'll go ahead and open up the public comment section for items that aren't on the agenda. Is there anybody online? Okay, all right, good. Then nobody's coming forward, so I'm going to go ahead and close the public comment section. And then we have the next items, item 3 for minutes, approval of minutes. And there are 2 different meeting minutes that we have, so not everybody was here for each one because they weren't on the commission or they weren't here. So are you on either one of these?
No.
Yeah, that's okay. Good. So let's take them one at a time. On January 22nd, any changes or updates on that one?
Well, first of all, I would just like to comment that if you think I remember everything that happened last January, in other words, they could get these sooner.
Yeah, well, they were backlogged, and they told me there was going to be some time doing it, but they had some staff transitions and things.
Yeah, we should be able to get caught up by the July hearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't want Brittany to do that rather than the housing.
Given my comment, I'll move to approve these.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, then we'll go ahead with roll call because one member has to abstain. All right, go ahead.
Vice Chair Polito,
Aye.
Commissioner Levison,
Aye.
and Commissioner Lane.
Aye. And we go ahead and call your name, you're going to abstain, right?
Oh, Commissioner Lugers,
Abstain.
All right, very good. And then we have, luckily, the only 3 people that were at that meeting are here. So we can go ahead with the minutes on January 29th. All right, I didn't see anything in those to amend. That was a special meeting.
Motion to approve.
Moved.
Aye.
Second. Yes.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Polito,
Aye.
Chair Lane,
Aye.
Commissioner Levison,
Aye.
and Commissioner Lugers.
Abstain.
All right. And we've got the absences on both of those votes for Mr. Tonelli. Then the next items are all the public hearing items, and they have the same process in each one. And if anyone comes in late, I'll go ahead and go over the process so that everybody's up to speed. What we'll do is we'll start with an overview of each item by staff, then questions from the commission to staff, and we open up the public comment section, starting with the applicant or the representatives. Go through that with any questions that the commission has after that. Then close the public hearing, bring it back for the discussion and action as appropriate with the commission. That'll be the same procedure on every item. I'll remind people if they come in late or remind people if people don't remember what the process is. So with that, I'll go ahead and start with the annual review of the 2025 Master Plan Report for Sacred Heart Schools. And this is the annual overview. We get sort of a strategic plan overview each site of all the school sites in the community. So with that, or the private school site. With that, then, Brittany, do you want to kick it off? Is this one yours?
Yes.
All right.
So we'll just wait a moment while we pull up a brief presentation. The applicant representing Sacred Heart Schools is here tonight, Michael Dwyer. He also has a presentation, so mine is going to be fairly quick and high level. Go ahead, next slide.
The 75-slide presentation is Michael's.
Yes. So this is to go over, this is the annual report on Sacred Heart's master plan. This is a requirement by Planning Code Section 17.36050. And just a brief background, the first report was provided in 2001. The first major update and pretty much only major update to the report since 2001 occurred in 2010, which was accompanied by an environmental impact report, which is a pretty extensive environmental impact analysis on a project. In 2013, the applicant then came back to change a mitigation measure related to the EIR that allowed them to establish a maximum daily trip count of 6,000 trips per day. And so that is now something that is included in the annual report. The report covers a number of topic areas. For the most part, there aren't any changes from the 2024 report, which the commission heard in December of last year. Typically, you hear the reports in the middle of the year, but because we were going through the housing element process, the report for Sacred Heart was pushed back until later in the fall and winter. So the first change I want to call out for the anticipated land use changes is a minor addition of approximately 560 square feet to the Oakwood Retirement Homes Westwood building. Typically, everything at the private school sites requires a conditional use permit, but since we've adopted some greater flexibility for housing and accommodating affordability units, I'll be treating this addition as a building permit only, and so it won't be something that's coming before you for review. However, they are also pursuing an approximately 3,700 square foot putting green, and that would trigger a CU, and that's also included in the package before you tonight for consideration. Then relative to the 2025 trip count, the trip count was taken the first week of March, covering a span of Tuesday to Thursday, so it would capture generally regular use and vehicle trips for the site. They counted 4,447 trips per day, and that is below the 6,000 trip maximum. Next slide. Oh, actually, can we go back one? I wanted to call out with the site, well, with the plan here shown of the entire campus, the general location of the putting green. It's denoted as the star in kind of the top left corner, just to the bottom right of the baseball diamond there. Okay, next slide. So the conditional use permit sought tonight is for a 3,700 square foot putting green. This would be located adjacent to Penner Aquatics building. It's pretty central on the campus and near the other athletic facilities on site. The programming here would facilitate on-site instruction for the student golfers. It allows them to practice putting, hits from sand bays, and short hits. And really the extent of the work that would be involved here is limited to flat work on an existing grass knoll. Next slide. So our recommendation tonight is that you accept the 2025 annual report from Sacred Heart Schools, and then you approve the conditional use permit to construct the putting green. That concludes my report, and we can open it for questions.
Any questions of staff?
I have one. They're adding some bathrooms. Does that turn them into living units that count towards our numbers?
No, because the units are already there, so it's just really kind of rehabilitating the existing units.
They're already counted.
We've
right?
already
Yes.
counted. those units.
Even though they didn't have bathroom facilities?
Correct.
Really?
All right. With that, then I'll go ahead and open up the public comment section. Michael, you want to give us the overview? Wow, is it that many already? Wow, doesn't seem like that many. Wow. It started on the toes. Right. That's a novel approach these days by some applicants. And you're not looking to expand and have more buildings or more, more residential areas for the, for more nuns or, yeah. Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Right. Any questions? Good, good. Yeah, you've always done a good job with that. And the school next door you has improved that also, and the one school that was not quite as good at that has gotten better at it. So it's all, so some of the things that happened to your complaint was just because of the number of schools in that area. All right, good. Any questions? None? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Good,
Mike.
good. The 11th time is very good again. Thank you. All right, is anyone here to speak on this item? All right, and with that, I can make the motion on this one, I guess. Let me do. All right, I'm going to move that the planning commission accept the 2025 annual update, the report of the TDM monitoring at Sacred Heart Schools, and approve the proposed conditional use permit to construct approximately 3,700 square foot putting green, and determine that the project is categorically exempt from the future environmental review pursuant to section 15314 and at 150 Valparaiso Avenue. Motion? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All right, any comment? All right, then we'll go for a roll call.
Chair Lane,
Yes.
Commissioner Levison, Commissioner Polito,
Yes.
and Commissioner Lugers.
Yes.
And one absent. All right, with that, then we'll go on to item 4B, and there are some people that came in the room after I went over the procedure. So we do the same thing on all the items. We go ahead and get an update from the staff, questions to staff from the commission. Then I open up the public comment section, and we start with the applicant or their representative, then hear from anyone else, and then bring it back to the commission for discussion and action as appropriate. So everybody's on the same page. With that, then 4B is a tree protection zone exception at 98 Maple Avenue. Sounds like that one was worked out to Sally's comfort level. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brittany Bendix, town planner, here to report on the project at 98 Maple. You may recall that this was agendized for last month's hearing as a heritage tree removal. Leading up to that meeting, we had received a number of letters and phone calls from neighbors that were concerned about the removal of the tree. Sally and the applicant then agreed to continue the heritage tree removal to this date. However, between that hearing and today, Sally and I were able to talk to the applicant, and they decided to withdraw their application as a heritage tree removal and resubmit as a tree protection zone exception. So the subject property is pretty close to the town hall. It's right across the street from the town library on Maple Avenue at the corner of Maple and Dinkelspiel Station Lane. We have it shown here in the top left. And then the subject tree is identified on the right image. Next slide.
Anybody who wants to see it can walk out that door to the left and you'll be able to see it from there.
The image on the left shows the proposed development. You can see the tree is at the center of the lot, but along the property line there on Dinkelspiel Station Lane. Its existing condition is 6 feet away from the existing foundation. So when we went back, Sally and I, to discuss the retention of the tree and the possibility of that with the applicant, they gave us these diagrams to the right that show the extent of the vertical addition of the second floor to the existing home and the amount of canopy that would need to be removed. They then had their project arborist go out and basically concur with the extent of removal and the amount of work that would need to be done. The TPZ that they're being sought is reducing the area from 3x to 2.6x. Next slide. Sally is recommending that the Planning Commission approve the TPC exception. However, she did stress that it was important to include the following conditions, mainly the involvement of the project, the continued involvement of the project arborist, and the assertion that only certified arborists are hired to prune the tree. That only 7% of the canopy would be pruned following the drawings that we had included the snippets of in the slide and in Sally's memo. 4 inches of mulch would be applied under the tree with plywood, and the tree would be wrapped in fence. These are all additional protective measures. That the tree would be maintained throughout the project, and then all of these steps would be documented in the quarterly arborist reports that Sally reviews during the project
And
duration.
did we specify Sabrina Huey as the only project
Yes.
arborist for this one? Okay.
So if for some reason that were to change during the course of the project, the applicant would then come to me before I would consider bringing it back to the Planning Commission. So I, of course, would work with Sally to determine if the substitute was adequate for her.
Yeah, because we've had an issue with a change in arborist and all of a sudden they're chopping the tree down or trying to. Yeah, so we want to be very, very, okay, great. Any questions of staff?
Sally, I can't believe that tree is alive with that right-hand side where back in the day they would have filled it with concrete or something. It's got to, think there's any rot down there? I think that tree's going to fall down.
I mean, I asked the applicant to do the testing on that, and they didn't want to. So I can't say if there's any in there. There may be some, but just because that limb is decayed out doesn't mean that the whole thing is decayed.
I want to add too that when Sally and I met with the applicant after the last hearing, they were given the option to proceed with additional testing and to give that information to Sally and maybe get a positive support for the removal. I think they were really caught off guard by the amount of concern raised by neighbors. And they indicated that they do want to live in that house and be good neighbors. So that may have influenced the decision to stick with the tree protection zone exception rather than removing the tree.
And if there's any issue with the tree later on during the process, you'll be dealing with it, Sally, right?
Yeah, the future homeowner can always apply for a tree removal if the tree is in decline. I can determine if it was due to the construction, but if it's just in decline because there's decay that's crossed over from the cavity, then I can consider that for removal. But right now, the tree is fairly healthy.
Any more questions? All right, anyone else? All right, then, with that, then I guess we're open for a motion.
Public comment?
Oh, yeah, that'd be a nice touch, wouldn't it? Okay. I didn't have any questions. What's wrong with you guys? Okay, we'll go ahead and open up the public comment section here from the applicant or the representative. Nobody? Okay, all right. All right, they're trusting in our good faith of the project. All right, we'll go ahead and close the public comment section and bring it back. No, I want the applicant first and then anyone else. Does anyone else want to speak on the item? Okay, good. Then come forward. No, I was trying to open it up for anyone who wanted to speak, and I thought the applicant would be first.
So my name is Paul Quinlan, and I live on Maple Avenue, and I was one of the people who was objecting to the removal of the tree.
Right.
And I wanted to first commend the applicant for having a change of heart. And I think it's a good sign that stuff actually, even in today's political state, can actually lead to compromise. And, you know, it may not be an ideal solution for either side, but I think it's a reasonable solution. And at least for me, it deals with the comments that I had. I do agree with the conditions that the town arborist is putting on it, because I don't want it to be sort of an excuse of, yeah, we won't ask to have the tree removed. We'll just kill it during construction. Right. So I do hope that those conditions are followed. And also, I think there was another, it may be in the applicant's report where they talked about if heavy machinery is going to be taken near the tree, that they needed to put down plywood or something so they didn't compact the roots. So I think, you know, if we can put that condition on, that would be good too, since it seemed to be put forward by the applicant's arborist. You know, otherwise, I think that it's a pretty good solution, but I do want to underline that we do have a tree protection ordinance, and I did get the feeling in the last application that it seemed like development was an excuse to take out trees. And at least as I read the tree protection provisions, it's about reasonable use of the property, interfering with reasonable use of the property, not being, if it interferes with development, then you can take it out. So I would want to encourage the town planner and also the commission to take that into account when other tree applications come in.
Yep.
That's it.
No, this is what the primary work we do is a tree protection zone. It comes up to us a lot. As I said before, if you have a choice between being a tree or a person in Atherton, be a tree. It's much safer. All right. Anyone else speak on this item? Then I'll go. Yeah, one more? Okay, good.
Hello, my name is Karen Goodman. I live at 81 Maple. Thank you, Sally, for all of your work in protecting our trees. I have just a question now. How much closer is, I know that you said, I didn't understand it's 2.8 or 3 point, what does that mean?
That means the feet away from the diameter of the tree, so they're asking for it to be for the foundation, or really, they're keeping the foundation, is that correct? Yes. Yeah, so the second story would be closer to the tree. They're asking for 6 feet. I think currently, where the foundation is, it's about 7 or 7.5 feet. So they're really just asking for a foot or two more to be closer.
Okay.
To be, and that's for the support of the second story?
Yeah.
All right.
And in your opinion, Sally, is
I mean, in
this-
my opinion, I think it's better to preserve the tree in this case. Usually, I wouldn't approve a TPZ that close. If they were going to demo the whole structure, then they would have to go to a 6 or 8 times TPZ. But because the tree is adjusted to the environment that it's in, I think it's going to be fine.
Okay.
The compromise is that we're preserving the tree. The idea is to preserve the tree. They're required to have their arborists come out monthly and do the reporting. I also walk by there almost every day for my walk, so I feel like there'll be a lot of eyes on that property for the project.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else on the item? And this time I will go ahead and close the public comment section. Bring it back for discussion and action as appropriate with the commission. I'm happy that this worked out because they wasn't happy with the first proposal. Looking for a motion?
Great compromise. I'll make it.
All right,
I move that the planning commission approve tree protection exemption permit 25-5 at 9 described in the draft certificate of approval. Exempt the project from the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, under AMC Section 52.100 and CEQA Section 1534.
motion, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Levison,
Yes.
Commissioner Lugers, Chair Lane,
Yes.
Vice Chair Polito.
Yes.
All right, very good, and one absent. All right, thank you very much. Thanks for coming, and thanks for having the letter last time. All right, with that, then we'll go to the item 4C, which is request for heritage removals of 2 coastal live oaks and 1 live oak, the tree number 18, to accommodate construction of a new single-family home at 285 Camino Al Lago. And we'll go ahead and do the same format on this. We'll hear from the staff and then hear from the applicant or their representative. Anyone else who wants to speak on it? And also, we did receive a letter just before the meeting from a neighbor requesting that we continue the item, so we're all have that information also.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
The neighbor is also here to speak.
What'd you say?
The neighbor is also here and can speak to the
Okay, good, good.
Okay, so as you introduced, this is the heritage tree removal request of 3 trees at 285 Camino Al Lago. Staff is recommending approval of the heritage tree removal requests for, 1 coast live oak and 1 valley oak, that's 11 and 20, and then the denial of 1 coast live oak, which is number 18.
So the slide is wrong?
The slide is wrong, but
Okay.
the motion one will be correct.
Okay, got it.
Next slide, please. Just some background, this is a 1.2 acre lot. Yes,
11's not the one you want to deny, it's 18 now?
it is
Tree
18.
11 is the one for denial.
Okay.
One by the canal.
It's 18,
That's what
yeah,
Tree 18 is the one?
18.
Wait a minute,
so
so.
it's 11, isn't it?
It's 11 is what we have in our, we went on the site.
Sorry, 1 second, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It's 11.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. All right, good.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's consistent with the staff report.
I was reading the subject line of the
Oh,
staff report,
okay.
which lists the two Coast Live Oaks together
Okay.
and then the Valley Oaks separately.
Okay,
And that's what
all right, got it.
confused me.
All right.
So it's a 1.2 acre lot on.
But the
our-
applicants asked for all three,
Yes.
correct? Okay, good. All right.
Any other clarifications?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You're on a roll.
1.2 acre lot in an R1A zoning district. It's on Camino El Lago between Fairview and Barney in the southeast border of the town with the city of Menlo Park. Also noteworthy is the Atherton Channel is running along the northern side of the property. Next slide. The project description, these are graphics pulled from the staff report. On the left, you have a general site plan identifying the locations of the three trees. We have number 20 and number 18 in front of the proposed main house. This is a full site development with a single-family home, two full ADUs, one JADU. And then the tree number 11, you can see kind of on the top side of the site plan here. Tree 11 is a Coast Live oak, 26 inches. Tree 18 is a Valley Oak, 36 inches, and tree number 20 is a Coast Live Oak at 47 inches. And you'll see some similarities with the project arborist prognosis here, where there is generally good foliage and health, but some structural concerns. And in some cases, the project arborist has indicated methods in terms of retaining the tree. Next slide. The town arborist analysis recommends the support for removal of trees number 18 and 20 due to the structural concerns.
In the
But the-
tree itself or in terms of the house? Structural concerns? Or the tree structure or,
For the
The tree structure.
okay,
And then recommends denial of tree number 11. In her memo, she mentions that the lean is not severe, and then notes that the canopy can be pruned to offset the weight. That's consistent with the project arborist report. She also notes that there is some disparity in the information provided in the submittal that indicates that if the diameter at breast height of tree number 11 is the smaller of the two that was submitted in the project, it could be eligible for a staff level tree protection zone exception. And then she also recommends replacement plantings of 4 24-inch box oak trees, 2 24-inch box Chinese pistache trees, and additional planting if the planning commission also approves removal of tree number 11. Next slide. So as previously noted, our recommendation is to support the removal of trees number 18 and 20 and the denial of tree number 11 for the reasons we've previously stated. One of the things that I mentioned in the staff report and which is raised by the comment letter that you received from a neighbor tonight is that the applicant is seeking removal of 2 additional trees. So the neighbor is requesting continuance of this project so that all 5 trees can be heard together and there will be a more cohesive analysis of the implications of the removal.
yeah, so there's 2 more heritage trees that are being asked for removal?
Yes.
And those are the 2 redwood trees?
No.
No, the redwood trees are in the main buildable area, so those can be removed without a permit. The 2 additional trees are for a driveway. So,
Why wasn't that included in this application?
Because it wasn't timely received for the public notice and the specific trees have to be included in the public notification.
Yeah. All right, okay. All right, are trees 18 and 20 in the buildable area? Or the root systems are for sure, but,
no, they're outside the main house buildable area, but they are close to it. Tree number 11 is further away.
yeah,
And so the applicant was submitted that the tree was 60-inch diameter, and they put that on the plan, but the arborist is stating that it's 26-inch diameter. So as they proposed the main house, there wouldn't even need to be a staff exception. So for tree number 11, they could build their proposed main house as submitted without any exceptions. However, when I reviewed briefly the driveway location is a new location and is very close to one of the trees, so that's why they're asking for removal.
Talking about the driveways close to 18 and 20, or,
No, two additional trees.
oh,
But we
two.
didn't review it
I got
because it
The
didn't
ones that
get
are not-
noticed.
The ones that are not on the agenda, I got it.
We can only review what gets
Right,
noticed.
got it. All right, any other? I have more questions about the whole thing being brought forward without the overall view already. But, so we can decide that later on, but any other questions of staff? All right, then I'll go ahead and open up the public comment section. Is the applicant here or a representative? Come up here. Go ahead and introduce yourself and.
Hi, we are the applicants. My name is Gustavo. Listening or seeing the report, I agree with Sally. I can work with with her on 311. I was just concerned because we're close to the permeable driver. There might be excavations in there, so that's why I was concerned about 11 like being a problem later. But I can try to preserve the tree with the recommendations that she's providing, like trimming it and try to kind of leave it in place. And then, yeah, that's all I can say. I think 18 and 20,
Okay,
as
All
she
right.
stated, are a bit close to the building footprint right now, so we would like that.
and is it because of you looked at the driveways by the addition to other two trees were brought up?
My plan check has been on hold because we need to deal with tree removals TPCs before I can officially do a plan check for building department. They have submitted to the building department. So when I was reviewing this for planning commission, I saw that the driveway did not comply. And so I gave them that comment of the driveway not complying to our TPZ rules. And so that's when they're asking to remove the two additional trees.
All right, so is there an issue with waiting until you have that all of one thing?
No, and then, so it wasn't like 3-1 was an oversight. Like my architect didn't pick it. It was on my demolition plans to be removed, but he never picked it on the application, and we realized, oh man, it's in the driveway. Kind of like when she brought it up, that number 1 and 6 require like a TPC. 1 is in the middle of the driveway, so that's when we realized it. We tried to resubmit it last minute, but we understand, so we're gonna come back in July for those 2 trees.
All right, so if we were to continue this item to all be one thing in July, would that be all right?
What I'm trying to do is to start and we're making the adjustments and then to start the construction. We've been essentially approved with the building department already since February. And these 2 trees are holding our project. So if there's a way that we can protect the additional 2 trees, we put the protection around, and we presented that to yesterday to Sally through an middle. Hopefully we can allow us to start kind of working in the house away from these 2 trees until next meeting.
Okay, all right. Any other questions?
So if they protect the trees and they have everything together for their demo, then they could move forward demo. However, they wouldn't be able to move forward with grading and drainage or the new residents because grading and drainage is driveways and elements like that. And if you don't approve the driveway as is, I'm not sure if that's going to affect the design of their building, but yes. Either way, they can still move forward with the demo if they protect the 2 trees that are near the driveway.
Yeah, and
So it's,
sorry, just to say that that's 3 or 4 weeks that will help us going because, like I said, we've been with the permit on hand essentially since March. That's helpful to
Do
us.
they have the demo permit?
no, they do not have the demo permit because even for the demo, they need to know what's being removed and not, and what's getting protected and not. However, if they protect the 2 trees near the driveway, if you make the motion to approve the 2 trees tonight, then they would just need to protect the 2 trees that are near the driveway, along with the additional trees on site, then they could get their demo permit, but everything else is on hold.
So they can save some weeks.
Take them on parallel on the overall.
Move
plan.
ahead.
All right.
I mean, I'd prefer not to move ahead until we had the whole deal. But interest of expediency, if it's going to save them 3 to 4 weeks time, then I could see why we go ahead.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourself, come up and introduce.
One of the
Go ahead
other
and
things.
introduce yourself.
Robert Putnam, 285 Camino El Lago.
Right.
So we have had the plans pretty much approved. And when we went to pull the demo permit, the tree thing really came into play. And we also have our construction loan approved, and the bank's been hounding us to provide at least some permits. Otherwise, it's going to expire and we'd have to start that whole nightmare process over. So we really would appreciate the planning department approving the 2 trees so we could at least get a permit in hand. And we promise we'll protect the trees and do everything. We'll come back and negotiate the rest of it.
All right. More questions? All right, thank you. All right. And Karen, do you want to speak too?
Hi, I'm Evangeline Cook, and I live at 289 Camino Lago,
Cool.
next to this project. You have all the information that I wrote there. I didn't want to take any more of your time. It was pretty self-explanatory. I'm asking for the commission to table this until next month, because not only are the 2 additional trees in question, but looking at the replanting plan, it's woefully inadequate and doesn't meet some of the requirements of the city. For example, the screening requirements, that isn't addressed at all in the replanting plan. And I know the property really well because I've lived there 60 years. And I would like to see a more cohesive plan, especially since there is some confusion maybe with the driveway and with other aspects of this project. Very happy to cooperate with the builder, but I don't think there's enough, I don't believe there's enough information for the commission to make an informed decision.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but tree replacement requirements are separate issues from screening, correct?
Yeah, screening is a separate issue, and they have to apply for screening by frame of the building. So that's a little bit of time away, and I can keep you in mind once they do apply for that. You can come in and review that. But there wasn't a specific replanting plan. This is just, they highlighted areas where they could replant, and the 2 species that I recommended is what their arborist recommended. You're welcome to add more replacements to that.
Well, go ahead. Come up here to do it.
The request for the removal of the 3 heritage trees came in, and now we hear there are another 2. And now we have a temporary or draft plan for the replanting. And now also, there's a separate permit that has to be requested, or if the developer chooses not to do any screening.
So they can't choose to do no screening. So every site that's builds a structure in Atherton, especially a full site development, requires screening on all 3 of the sides except the
Okay.
front. So that is a requirement. So they can use existing screening if there is. They can,
If the trees go, there won't be.
yeah. So they will be required to submit a plan by frame of the building. Otherwise, we stop all inspections. And then once that gets approved, at the end of the
Okay.
build, I have to come out and inspect the tree replantings and the screening, and they don't get a final until all of that is complete.
Right, so it would
So that's
behoove
how
the-
we check that and
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you're saying it would behoove the developer to take a step back, perhaps losing these 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever they would gain by having the trees removed. But gain time, if there was a cohesive plan, there would be one approval.
Well, not really. That's not the normal way it works. Normally what
Okay.
works is we get the trees and the building
separate?
permit, and then based on where the
Okay.
final home looks and what impacts in terms of lighting and
Okay.
windows and everything else, then the screening plan is put in place. I
Okay.
can speak to this directly because that happened in my house next door. They built two-story home next to a one-story, and then Sally came
Okay.
out and did the whole thing. And that's a normal thing.
Okay, great. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. All right, anyone else here to speak on the item? Then I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back for discussion and action as appropriate with the commission. I really wish we had a whole plan, but
That's what I'm thinking. And we kick it down the road a month, but allow demolition.
all right. Well, in all condition, and maybe other people, but I would say that because of Sally's assessment of 18 and 20, they're going to come down because of their structurally weak trees. So the question I have on that is if we, I mean, that's a major project to get that done. And those trees are coming down for a lot of its safety and also the actual structure impact of the new buildable area. So a question I would have for staff is if we approve the removal of those trees, how much control over do we have the destruction of the home and everything else? Because I'm concerned that we'll get all the destruction will happen and go, oh shoot, there's 5 other trees that should be.
So the grading and drainage and new residence permits have basically been on hold for a year because it was hard for me to get all the information I needed to do the plan checks and get the arborist report and get everything I needed to actually do my review. So those permits will continue to be on hold, especially I don't think we have to issue grading and drainage and the structures at the same time. And because the driveway is part of the grading and drainage permit, that will definitely be on hold. And then if the driveway has to change based on what happens at Plan Commission, they might need to edit their new residence plan. So those 2 are definitely on hold. Those would not be issued.
So will the house be taken down after we would approve this destruction of those trees or
I mean,
not?
that would be on the contractor. They don't have their demo permit. There's also an appeal period after this. So
Right.
even, they can't be taking down the trees tomorrow, even if they're approved, they have to wait till they get the certificate in 10 days.
Sally, I
But
think
it
what
still
they're
saves time-
asking,
Still going to save some time, no matter what. If we allow them to move forward, taking these 2 trees down, they're going to get their demo permit faster.
I can't speak on when they would get their demo permit because there's a lot of things that they have to meet for the building department, and I'm not the person that goes through that. Mine has been on hold because of this. So I can't really say when they would actually get the demo permit. I can't say,
Brittany, we're sort of say something.
I was trying to maybe rephrase your question for Sally because I was understanding it to be if they allow for the removal of these 2 trees, are the other trees at risk? That have yet to be
That's a follow-on to my
considered.
question, but
Okay.
yeah, that's a good follow-on, yeah.
no, because the other 2 trees are on the outside of the property line, closer to the property lines. The trees in the center.
Those are the
so-
ones on the left,
There's one, if you're going inside the small flag, on the left, there's trees, and
Right.
then on the right, there's a tree.
Right.
So really, they're just gonna be used, I would hope that they would just use the existing driveway to remove the trees
yeah,
and then do the demo.
yeah,
Because they cannot just, you cannot demo the trees as part of the demo. You have to
Right.
use a tree service to remove the trees.
right.
So those trees are going to have to be protected until we rule on those trees, if any work is done.
Yeah, so.
And I guess it's extremely unlikely that we're going to allow a heritage tree to be taken down if there's an alternative way to run a driveway.
Yeah, there's a driveway right there now, so I don't understand.
To me, it looked like they were expanding the driveway to the left to do a circle driveway. And so, yeah.
I'll go ahead and open a public comment section. Yeah, well, let's see, can he go into the plan? He can't really go
This
into the
is
plan.
not under
Yeah,
the
it's not-
topic for
It's not
today.
agendized, so we can't do it. Yeah, but we're only dealing with, we can only deal with the tree portion of it and only the ones that are put before us. Yeah, I'll go ahead and open public comment. Go ahead and introduce yourself again for the record. So
Putnam, 285
Right.
Camino Alago. I think it's important to, we had everything in order. We've been going through this for quite a while sometime.
Right,
We went down to the city to pull the permit and we paid the school fees, significant amount of money. We paid a lot of fees. We paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to architects, engineers. We've got a construction loan that's approved pending a permit in our hand. So I really would love to get
so what happens if this gets approved tonight? What
a
happens?
nightmare for us.
Okay, what happens if this gets approved? What's the next things you guys
We
do?
will move forward with either adjusting the driveways or getting, we're working out the other trees that are in question. The trees
No,
that are
but
in question
no,
are far
what
from
happens
the,
on the site? So once
would do
it's
demolition,
of the house,
correct? And we would start the foundation work.
all right, and then, but you'd be retaining the current driveway. It is why you did that?
For construction use, yes.
Yes, okay, so that would help us in the next steps. Is that right, Sally?
And the,
Driveway for now?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, so if the, go ahead, so
the driveway is perfectly fine for construction purposes. And the trees that are in question are far from the construction activity of the demolition.
right. I
So,
saw-
and as far as the neighbor's concerned about screening, there's a, like you say, that's when you frame the building, there's a reason for that. So you could stare out the windows and see where the shade, the screening needs to take
Right.
place. And of course, we want to comply with the screening policies.
All right, good. All right, good. Just make sure that everything is done a little bit more precisely on the next phase of this, of these questions, because I think that'll speed it up for you. Because I
Yes.
think some of the things that have gone on during the year could have been tighter, and that would have helped.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, thank you. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and close the public comment section, bring it back for discussion and action. You know, as long as that driveway that's currently there is big enough for trucks to go in and destroy the house, and as long as trees 18 and 20 are going to come down anyway, I'm not having a problem with that. Preserving 311, I didn't see any reason to come down with 311, but the idea of pruning it to make it safer would be possible. The only other question I have in general is the trees along that culvert cement. Do they propose any threat to the integrity of the culverts, concrete?
I mean, there were additional trees that I approved at staff level. But I don't go onto the site and review that unless they're asking for a removal.
All right. Okay, so the only thing I would say is that somebody's got to look at it in the same terms of the protection of the culvert wall, because some of those trees are pretty close, and I can see the roots kicking through, and then then the city has to pay for city or somebody has to pay for that, but not the homeowner, I don't think. So, yeah.
Yeah, the applicant will have to look into that because also there's rules about working in the channel. There's a lot of agencies and so that get involved. So the applicant, it will be their responsibility as their property line, I think, looked like it was across the channel.
Yeah, okay, well, just be aware of that. Some of the trees I looked at on some of the sides are really close to the culvert cement. And as I was walking around, I was looking at that as a potential issue for you to consider going forward.
I think there's a 7-figure amount of money allocated right now to begin studies on repairs to the Atherton Channel. I don't know whether that particular portion is involved or not, but so that'll all get dealt with as a part of that, I presume.
You're noting the Atherton Channel relining project. Yes.
Yeah, so Brittany, that might be something that you talk to the building permit about or something. I don't know where that gets addressed, but it certainly struck me as a potential issue.
So Public Works would review the grading and drainage permit, and especially given the site's proximity and inclusion of the Atherton Channel on the site, they're going to be looking closely at that.
All right, great. Okay.
So I just wanted to note one more thing. So if you did make the motion to approve the 2 trees tonight, for them to get their demo permit, I would need to re-review the demo plan, make sure that what is approved and what it hasn't been approved is shown on the plan. So they might need to update that. I can review that tomorrow pending your decision. They also need to install all the fencing on the site. I haven't seen that. So they still have things to do to get, that's just on my side. I don't know what's left for the building department, but yeah, so.
All right, good. All right, that makes me feel good. Sally, if you stay on the case, that's good. All right, anybody ready for a motion?
Sure.
I'm comfortable with all the safety nets we have on this one, we can move ahead without the overall plan, but I'm never totally comfortable unless we have an overall plan. But in this case, in deference to the length of time and the amount of effort you put into it, I'm comfortable with going ahead with that, but you got to dot Ts and cross Is for a while now. Go ahead.
So we're going to do
Yeah.
approve 2 and deny 1.
Yes.
I move that the planning commission approve the heritage tree removal permit for 1 Coast 5 oak tree, tree number 18, and 1 Valley oak tree, tree number 20, replacement plantings. Deny the heritage tree removal. Coast 5 oak tree number 11 at Camino, or 285 Camino.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Let's go ahead and just go, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And 1 absent. No no's and no abstentions. Okay, you're off and running. Your neighbor's going to be awake at night, so just keep her healthy and.
Keep her
and-
screened.
And Sally, stay on the case.
Watching her.
All right, item number 5, staff report.
I'm going to let Sally go first with the staff report so she can leave when she's done.
All right, Sally's got a staff report? Whoa.
So I wanted to give you an update on 5 Colado.
Can I get you guys to move into the out in the hallway? Yeah, thank you. All right.
If you remember, 5 Colado came in front of you. I wasn't at the meeting. They did work without the permits. So they met all our requirements. They paid the fine of $41,000, but then they appealed it. And this week we had our appeal hearing. And they were asking for a lower fine, even though per code, that's just, we appraise the value of the tree times 2. We
Town
just,
council doubled it.
yeah, and if it's illegal removal, we double it. The tree was around $85,000 value, a very large 60-inch redwood in good condition. We had the hearing and the hearing officer upheld the fine.
Right, good.
So I guess at this point, they could appeal to this, I don't think they can appeal to city council. It goes to a court in the county, but I don't think they're going to do that. But yeah, they had to uphold the fine, so.
All right, very good. All right, good job. Thank you, Bob, for highlighting that. That's the one you highlighted.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Is it the property where they were already working?
Where
Yeah,
you were the
yeah.
one that said they started the work,
Yeah.
yes.
They'd
So
already
they
done.
got the fine, they paid it, and they appealed, and
So
it was upheld.
So I cost them 80 some odd thousand dollars. That was not really my intent.
Good job, Bob.
The town just got $41,000.
What's his name again?
All right.
They earned it.
All right, Sally, anything else, Sally? Thank you. Thank you for showing up tonight, too. It's always good to see you.
Town Planner Brittany Bendix, I'll touch on a couple things. First, thank you for attending our special study session on Monday with the City Council to discuss the inclusionary housing program. I can't recall if this was announced then, but I wanted to acknowledge that Commissioner Polito has been renewed for another term on the Planning Commission. So he can stay as vice chair. So congratulations. The other update I have is last month, we heard a variance request and tree protection zone exemption request for 94 Palmer. This was the former SB9 lot split on an R1A property over by North Fair Oaks, right on the boundary in a very small lot. The Planning Commission unanimously approved both requests. Within the appeal period, one of the immediately adjacent neighbors who wasn't at the hearing decided to appeal the project. So that appeal will be moving forward to the city council's next regularly agended meeting.
And I talked to him on the phone, and he will probably make the same points he made with me repeatedly. All right, very good. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Commissioners report? I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but this whole thing about lot splits and SB9 lot splits, I'm thinking that we need to come up with a way for people to be able to transparently see what's going on, because an SB9 lot split or a lot split that complies with all of our rules doesn't get noticed by any of the neighbors. And the only reason they notice it is their house gets surrounded and they're told that there are going to be 2 homes there. That's happened twice right around me. So I'm the one to get the calls. So I was looking at Brittany to come up with a method like every building permit is on the town page, and you can look down for what's going on, because since not everything comes to us, people get surprised and they got all worried that they missed the meeting or they weren't noticed. And that's where the rumors about not being noticed comes from, because something like this. And with SB9 and other things going more, it could be an issue. Same with ADUs. I had, and right behind me, somebody was doing construction, and I said, I don't remember seeing anything come up for that. It ends up being an ADU, and it was totally in compliance. And so you just hear the construction going on. You don't know if they're building a 50-story building or an ADU. So it's worthwhile some way to come up with a way to see that overall. So I don't know if you can still work on that or not.
Yeah, so one thing that I just did this last week was I updated our SB9 page to accurately reflect where all of our SB9 applications are in the process.
Oh, good.
I think that there's more information that we can get out there. Right now, the status is, completed, under review, tentative parcel map issued. I don't know if everybody knows what that even means. So adding supplemental information, kind of working through each step so that both potential applicants as well as neighbors understand that this is a process, especially with mapping projects that can go really long. And if you're not finding out about it until they come to the planning commission seeking a variance for something that, isn't even never necessarily anticipated with SB9 applications, there's a possibility of going and checking earlier in the process. The other thing that I think Charlene and I discussed, and I will look into, is some sort of notice to be sent just when somebody files an application. It's a little difficult because there's not much somebody can do when they receive that notice because it's all ministerial, but at least it gives them some awareness earlier on in the process of what's going on.
Thank you. It's going to be more of an issue, and I tell you that all the calls to me have been the same. I didn't see there's anything about this. Are they really the owners? An SB9 project, are they really the owners? Are they really people going to be there for 3 years? What are they going to build? Who approved this? Why didn't it go to you, Eric, on the planning commission? So all the people who called me or contacted me have said the same thing. It's like, so it's because they don't know.
I'm glad you're the chair.
Oh, yeah. No, they're calling me because it's my neighborhood.
Oh,
I know a guy that can help me with it. All right, with that then, item number 7, I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, I move, you second. All those in favor, aye? Aye. We're out of here. Thank you.